Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until probably about 5 o'clock today. Probably about 5 o'clock today. Um, yeah, I'm back. I'm back. As always, interesting stuff happens, and I don't know why. I don't know why interesting stuff happens to me, but it does. I mean, it is what it is. Um, I'm watching Wyatt out of the corner of my eye. But everybody, come on in like we normally do, and yeah, come on in like we normally do. I'm gonna get to it in just a second. So I'm trying to see what Wyatt got going on here. Okay. He bashing the women. No, I'm just playing. He is not bashing women. He's telling some truths, some uncomfortable truths that people don't like. And this time it happens to be about women. This time it happens to be about women. So let me get all of, do I do the hellos first or do I tell this little, it's a short story. I think I do the hellos first. All right, let me go through them. Let me go through them. Robert Willis. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Robert. Thank you. Anthony. Anthony, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Pat. Pat, good afternoon, Pat. Thank you for checking out the show. Uh, Hold on, let me move this over just a little bit. Move it there. All right, Pat, good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Got Maria in the house. Good afternoon, Maria. I appreciate you. Andrea. Andrea, representing Gulf Manor. Thank you for checking out the show, Andrea. And I didn't say it, but Maria was representing North College Hill. We got Ron Omega. Good afternoon, Ron. Ron Omega, are you Ron D? Just using a different name? Like you Ron Omega on one and you Ron D on the other one? Because I think you the same guy. I'm pretty sure you the same guy. Brent, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Brent. Pamela, representing North Avondale. Good afternoon. And I didn't say Brent's representing Dallas, Texas. I think we all know that. Paul in the house. Good afternoon, Paul. Good afternoon. Ron says, yes, he is Ron D and Ron Omega. All right. And we got, hold on. Bonita in the house. Good afternoon, Bonita. Good afternoon. All right. I'm going to tell this story right now. Hold on. We got Gloria. Gloria checking us out from Silverton. Hello, Gloria. Thank you for checking out the show. I appreciate your support. Brenda. Brenda. Fairfield. Representing Fairfield. All right. So Fairfield's in the house. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. I'm going to tell the story real quick because it's a really quick story. I did not have my procedure. I did not get my colonoscopy. Did not get the colonoscopy. Tria, good afternoon, Tria. Good afternoon. Yeah, it didn't happen. Apparently, well, I'll just say some difficulties arose, not on my part. But they called me, well, Monday was prep day. So they called me on Monday and said, yeah, we not gonna end up doing the procedure tomorrow because these difficulties. So we're gonna have to cancel tomorrow and reschedule for a different time. Again, it wasn't an issue on my part. It was not an issue on my part. So I'm like, okay, cool. Um, Hold on, let me take this call. I got to take this call, y'all. Turn me off back there. All right. Sorry about that. I had to grab that one. Um, but yeah, no. So it got canceled again, not because of anything that I did or anything on my part. And we'll have to reschedule at some point. But see, here's the thing. And I didn't do the drink. I didn't do the drink. I had the drink all ready to go. But they called me. See, the way that they had me doing it was um, they had me doing some other stuff, but I wasn't supposed to start doing the drink until like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So as I'm mentally preparing for what's about to come, I got a call from the doctor's office basically saying we're going to have to cancel and reschedule. It said, we wanted to call you, get you before you took that drink. So you didn't have to go through that. That was their terminology. So that you didn't have to go through that and, for nothing. So I'm like, okay. But see, the thing about that is they have this entire procedure laid out. And the procedure starts at 8 o'clock in the morning with a whole host of laxatives. So I had to take laxatives at 8. Then they had me taking something else at 10. Then they had me taking some at 1. And then I was supposed to start the drink at 5. So even though I didn't do the drink, I was so full with laxatives. Like, I can't imagine what this drink is because I was in the bathroom all day Monday and Tuesday. Just off the strength of these laxatives. All day Monday and Tuesday. So I'm like, oh my God. Now it was like intermittent, and I don't want to be too graphic, but it was intermittent and every one was like short. So boom, go to the bathroom. Like, oh, that's it. And then go and do whatever I'm doing. And then 10 minutes later, my stomach is like, rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, oh my goodness, let me go to the bathroom. And then it's like, that's it. And then get back up and 10 minutes later. So it was like all day, like, it slowed down, but it still was, it was not good. And it was not good for nothing. So I did not get the procedure. But yeah, I definitely wasn't, I wouldn't have been able to do the show like yesterday. I would have had to get up probably about right now and be like, I'll be back, and run upstairs and that's it. And then come back down here and then do another 20 minutes. So yeah, it didn't happen. So y'all keep all the jokes. Y'all can keep all the jokes. Save them for the reschedule. All right. Save them for the reschedule. But I wanted to talk about what I keep hearing about, and we keep coming back to this conversation. We keep coming back to the conversation of somehow punishing parents for the bad things that their kids do. Punishing parents for the bad things that their kids do. And y'all frustrating me with this conversation. I don't understand how y'all think. Look, parents who don't parent ain't gonna parent because they scared of getting punished. That's not gonna make bad parents parent. It's not. I don't know what's gonna make bad parents parent, or at least parent well, because they're parenting. They're just doing it horribly. I don't know what's gonna make them step up, stand up, and care. But punishing the parents is not the answer. I'm gonna do the same thing that everybody else done did all day. But I'm gonna do it slightly differently, I think. When I was growing up, I did some bad stuff growing up. Like, you might think so, but I wasn't flawless growing up. I made some bad decisions. Did some things that I knew I had no business doing. Guess what? My parents didn't know. My parents, it had my mama known. I done told y'all this I don't know how many times. I was afraid of the consequences if my mama found out about some of the stuff that I did. Some of that is what kept me from doing like really bad stuff. I was afraid of what mama would do. So, but I still did bad stuff. So, y'all idea is my mama should have been punished for the bad stuff that I did? I know. Well, what did you do, man? You see, it's different. It's different if you wasn't. No, because this is what y'all don't seem to understand. I don't know why y'all don't seem to understand this, but it happens like this all the time. Yes, the slippery slope argument. Look, if you start saying, all right, if your kids, let's just use what's happening downtown. If your kids jump an innocent person, then you going to jail for the bad thing that your kid just did. Say, all right. Yeah, that's good. That'll stop them. All right. That'll stop them. Next thing you know, all right, if your kids get into a fight, then you going to jail for your kids getting into a fight. Yeah, okay, it's still violent, so, okay, yeah, that'll work. Okay, the next thing, if your kids steal something, then you going to jail for your kids' bad actions. Okay, they injured somebody financially, and maybe I should just pay for it but no, it's got to be a punishment attached to it. So, whatever the punishment is for the theft, I got to go to jail for the 90 days or whatever. Like, oh, that's horrible. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. And it doesn't make sense. Yes, if you go out there and I'm sorry. Thank you, Mary. If you go out there and you beat somebody as a 14, a 13, a 12, 11, 10, a 9-year-old, a gang of 9-year-olds with their little fists out there beating up people, guess who should get punished for that? All the little fisted 9-year-olds beating people up. That's who should get punished. Now, look, if there's some restitution that needs to be paid, a 9-year-old probably don't have a job. A 9-year-old probably don't have a job. So I'm sorry, parent. Because you're responsible for their actions, you have to pay restitution. I got into fights when I was 9. I don't think my mama should have went to jail. I got into fights when I was a teenager. I don't think my mama should have went to jail. My mama didn't know I was out there fighting people. I mean, just really think of the logic behind that. Okay, some people can't see it from that perspective. Think about you. You. The things that you did growing up until you were 18 years old. Had you got caught for something that you did, it don't even have to be big. Had you got caught for something that you did that was not 100% legal, you think your mama should have went to jail? Because your mama was surely there saying, yeah, do it. Your mama didn't know what you was doing. Had no idea that you was doing it. And if they found out, if she found out or your daddy found out, they'd have been ashamed of you and maybe beat that ass. But we think they should go to jail? Come on. Come on, that don't make sense. Like, if you're coming up with ideas, at least come up with ideas that make sense and that can help with the problem. Because it sounded to me like the idea behind sending parents to jail is making them be better parents. That's not going to make nobody a better parent. Let me walk that back a little bit. There might be some outlier where if a parent goes to jail, somehow that makes that child a better child because they don't want to see their parent go to jail, so they're never going to do anything bad again. That might exist. But if you're walking down the street beating innocent people and 10 of y'all or whatever jumping a young person, it's not going to probably change you. It might make some of y'all feel better to say, oh, their parents went to jail. But that don't help the problem. That really don't help the problem. And let me see, man, it's different. It's different. I just stole some potato chips from the store. What's the punishment for stealing? What's the punishment for theft? Your mama should get that punishment. Like up to 90 days in jail. Send your mama to jail for 90 days for that bag of chips. Bet you won't steal no more chips. But what happened to your mama while she in jail for 90 days? How do the bills get paid? Who keeping the kids? Do she get to keep her job? Oh, we don't care about that. He stole some potato chips. That's different, Emanuel. It's different. Everything is different. No two things are going to be the exact same. But the idea is we punish parents for the misdeeds of their children. And that's foolish. Myosha says, hold on. I wanted to get to the first one where she said, while I don't think parents should go to jail for their kids' actions, I think that they have to appear in court with the kid, and some parenting classes might be in order. All right. And again, I asked this question. Did you ever do anything wrong growing up? It's a legitimate question. I want to know. Did you ever do anything wrong growing up? Some of y'all never did anything wrong. Y'all were perfect. So I'm not talking to y'all. Did you ever do anything wrong growing up? Let's go back to my stealing bag of potato chips. You get caught. Your mama should have to take parenting classes. She'd have to take off work maybe, show up to court, and take parenting classes because you stole a bag of chips. The way my mama did it, or would have done it if I'd have got caught, is realistically she'd have probably told everybody, like, y'all ain't got to do nothing. I'm going to beat his ass till he don't ever think of stealing again. I'm telling you, that's probably verbatim what my mama would have said. I'm going to beat his ass until he is scared to think about stealing again. But she should go to jail. She should have to take parenting classes because her dumbass son did some bad stuff at Calvin's down the street that he knew. He wasn't raised that way. He knew if he got caught, his mama would try to kill him. But she should have to take parenting classes. Like, come on, y'all, this stuff just, y'all not using common sense with some of this stuff. Kids, not all kids, because Maya said she was perfect. She never did, she literally, I don't want to misquote her. I know this may be hard to believe, but I never did anything wrong or illegal as a kid. So I can't relate. She was a perfect kid. She never did literally anything wrong. She didn't cross when the light said don't cross. She didn't stick her tongue out at nobody that she shouldn't have stuck her tongue out at. You know what I'm saying? She didn't do anything wrong as a kid. I had to take her word for it. I didn't know her as a kid. I don't know her. I didn't know her as a kid. But apparently from birth to 18 years old, she was completely flawless and a perfect human being. Most of us, that's not our story. So she can't relate. But most of us did something wrong. What if I don't do my homework? Then my mama should have to write, I will make my kid do his homework 100 times. Emanuel, now you're being ridiculous. No, I'm really not. Because once you start down that slope, it's hard to stop. So once we decide society can jail parents for the actions of their children that they knew nothing about, how long do it take for that seep into the school system? Punishing parents. It won't take that long. Like, y'all, it's not a smart idea. It sounds good. I want parents to be better parents too. I do. I'm just not dumb enough to believe that putting parents in jail for actions that their children take that they don't know anything about is gonna make them better parents. Actually, I believe that if anything, which I don't actually believe this would be the case, but if anything, you're going to have more kids out there on the street. And when I say on the street, look, how many times you going to get me sent to jail and you still get to live in my house and I be your guardian? How many times you think that's going to happen? Please. First time I go to jail for something you did, who do I sign rights over to? Because he or she can't come back in my house. I'm trying to work and take care of my kids. And I just had to spend 6 months in jail because my child decided to do something that I done taught them not to do? Who do I sign them up? I don't sign them over to nobody. Well, there's got to be a way for me to wash my hands of this situation. It's like, but he's not a bad kid. You just sent me to jail for 6 months for a bad decision that my child made. Here, take them. You can have them. Take them. You can have them. I'm not going to jail a second time. Oh, but it sounds good. Send the parents to jail. Punish the parents. Sure, that sounds good. That's not going to have the effect that you want. And how we going to do it across the board? How we going to do it across the board? I know a lot of people like to pretend that racial disparities don't exist. But are we going to do it when Connor do something that he ain't got no business doing? Or are we going to take Connor home and explain to Connor's parents that Connor did something bad and handle it so we don't have to put Connor in the system and send Connor's daddy to jail for 6 months? Um, Anthony says, you keep talking jail because that's a punishment that people are talking. There are other things that can be done, like what? What are these other things? Mayosha says, you still haven't answered the question. The question? What's the question? What would you do with the badass kids? Punish the kids for their bad behavior. That's what I would do. That's what I did when my kids was bad. When my kids was bad, they got punished for their bad behavior. I didn't go slap their mama. Well, you gave birth to them, so I'm going to punish you. I didn't slap nobody's mama because the kid did bad. I punished the kid when the kid did bad. That sounds reasonable to me. The person who does the bad thing gets whatever the punishment is for that bad thing. What type of punishment? Depending on what the bad thing was. Now, my guess is you're asking me to solve juvenile crime at 3:28 on Wednesday, the 31st of January in 2024. That's not going to happen. Because trust me, if I had the answer, it'd have been out there. So to me, it's ridiculous to ask me to solve juvenile crime. But I can tell you, punishing the parents is not the solution. Andrea is asking a question in the form of a statement. It's like reverse Jeopardy. So you don't think the kid's bad behavior could possibly be because of the parent? Everything could possibly be because of anything. Asking such a, to me, and no disrespect, but that's a ridiculous question. It could possibly be because of the environment, like literally the pollution in the environment. It could possibly be because of that. There's so many things it could possibly be. Let me say, here's what I think you asking. Here's what I think you asking. What if the parenting is actually a part of the problem? Well, then it's just part of the problem. Then it's just part of the problem. And you again, you have to try to influence the negative influence out. It's probably not going to be successful. I'm just being honest. It's probably not going to be successful. Trying to influence the bad influence out of young people, it's probably not going to work. But for some people, it could. Get them a mentor. Oh, I got a mentor. This person is not violent. They're loving. They take me places. They do things with me. They show me another life. I'm never going to be violent again. That could possibly work. But it also could possibly not. Sorry, y'all, there's bad parents out here. There's bad people raising bad people who raise bad people. I think the overwhelming majority of young people are good people. Black and white. Oh, got a call coming in. Myosha.
Why are you making me mad?
Because you got issues.
I said I've never done anything wrong.
How? So what was
I
sarcastic?
didn't do anything
Wait,
illegal. I didn't do anything wrong because I knew
wait,
the consequences.
wait a minute. Wait. Tell me, where was there sarcasm? You said you never did
Well,
it.
they read my message.
You
Well, my house is perfect
you
because
said you never. What do you call someone who never does anything wrong?
I wouldn't call them perfect, but the way you said it,
Well, what is
it sounded
perfection?
like you didn't believe
Hold
me.
on.
Well,
What?
that's how
No,
rotten
no,
apple
no,
stores
no,
get.
no, no. What is perfection?
Perfection can be different things to different people.
And to me, perfection is a person who has never done anything wrong. So how am I being sarcastic if you say to me, oh, people are saying they can't hear you. Hold on a second. I might have a setting wrong here. Audio. Oh, I do. I have a setting wrong here. Okay, they should be able to hear you now. So how is it sarcastic to say that a perfect person is perfect?
No, it was sarcasm when you said that I had never done anything wrong. And
You said I
it
just
was as
read
if
what
you
you.
didn't believe me. It was as if you didn't believe me. I don't have to lie about that. I
All I
can give you my
did was
mother's
read.
phone number. You can call her and ask her.
How is it sarcasm to read what you wrote?
The tone in your voice.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You said you have never done, or at least as a child, which means to me from birth to 18 years old, you never did anything wrong.
No, I
I
didn't.
read what you said. How is that sarcasm?
Your tone, as I said before, your tone. But now, after 18, a different story. But anyway, my second issue with you.
Oh, Lord.
When did I ever tell you that I am trying to get you to solve juvenile crime? I never said that. Those words never came out of my mouth. Why would you even say something like that?
I don't know if those words
Does
came out of your
anybody
mouth or
even know
not.
how to do that?
I know the questions that you were typing were leading to me solving juvenile crime.
Why did somebody say I wasn't trying to mess up my trust fund? I don't have a trust fund, Anthony Prosser. But anyway, I don't see what was wrong with me saying that, these kids out here are just running rampant, going crazy. Now,
I disagree.
if that was one of your children, I won't say their names, but if it was one of your children,
All right.
if one of your children was just pummeling a dude who's just walking down the street downtown, what do you think the punishment should be
Uh,
for your children?
Let me make a little commentary and then answer the question. The commentary is
Okay.
exceptionally short. First,
Okay.
I disagree that the kids are out there running rampant. I think there are a few kids out there doing horrible things. But to me, the idea that the kids are out there running rampant, that speaks to the majority of kids. So I reject
No,
I
it doesn't.
reject that
No, it
notion.
doesn't.
Number two, I think you're assuming a lot of stuff that we don't know for a fact about these issues. You're assuming that this person did nothing and was just innocently walking, minding their own business. I'm not saying they wasn't, but I won't just accept the narrative that they were. I don't know what was said. Could have called them, could have walked by them and called them a bunch of ends. Not that that would necessarily justify beating him down, but just to assume because the police said that this was some innocent bystander who never did it, he was perfect like you. I reject that. I don't know it to be true, so I reject the narrative until there's some proof given. Then you show me some actual proof that this person or these people were perfect people like Myosha, then I'll accept that notion. Now, with regard to your actual question, if that was my kid,
Mm-hmm.
what would I do? I'd beat that
Mm-hmm.
ass. I would beat that ass. I would be like, I got my mama's mentality. I'm gonna beat your ass so bad that you ain't gonna want to think about nobody getting their ass beat again. Because when you
Okay.
do, you're gonna think about what's gonna happen if you get caught.
Okay. I am not taking the word of the police. I am going by the video that the news keeps running every dang on half hour, where the guy is just walking down the street, then all of a sudden 8 kids come up from behind and
What
start taking
happened
a
10 minutes
selfie.
before that video?
I don't know what happened 10
Exactly.
minutes
So you
before
are
that.
taking the
But
word.
my point is, you made it sound like, I don't even know who the chief of police is. The TG lady came out on TV and said, "This is what happened," and you just made it sound like I'm just automatically believing her.
That's what it sounded like to me.
Well, I didn't even hear any cop come out talking about this. What I did hear was Mayor Pureval, who now, I've always been indifferent about him, but now I really don't like him because I don't know if you saw the interview he did with Curtis Fuller on channel whatever channel Curtis Fuller is on, 5, 7, 9, whatever.
I think he's on channel 5.
So he interviewed the mayor, and Curtis was like, "Well, what do you think about this problem with kids, attacking people downtown? This has happened a few times. What do you think about it?" "Well, I don't want anybody to get the impression that downtown isn't safe, and our actual crime rate in the city of Cincinnati is going down." Okay, tell that to the dude that just got pummeled by 8 people. That wasn't the question, bro. That was not the time to be hyping up the city of Cincinnati. Answer the question.
I don't see a problem with him doing
that. I didn't like that. I didn't like that one bit.
I get different people like different things.
If somebody asks you a question as a mayor about crime and what you intend on doing and how do you feel about it, your response should not be crime is going down. Answer the freaking question.
Not if crime is actually going down, and it's logical to me that the mayor would not want the people watching Channel 5 to believe that crime is going up so that people refuse to come to the city and spend money. So it's reasonable to me that he would preface his answer by saying crime is actually going down, but in response to this. That's reasonable to me.
And back to your point about you beating that ass if it were your kid. Now, isn't your son significantly bigger than you?
Yes, he is.
So you trying to make me believe that you'd be beating his ass if he was downtown knocking people out.
Well, here's what I'll say. He is, 32 years old now. So
wasn't he significantly bigger than you as a teen?
Yes, I'm getting to it. Can I answer the question?
Yeah, okay.
Don't Mayor Pureval me. Let me preface and then answer the question, all right? You're trying to bully me. I don't like that.
Okay, I will shut up.
Let me tell you this. When my son was, I'm going to say he was 16. And yes, he was significantly bigger than me. He played college football the whole nine. I remember body slamming that boy around the house. Like it's a mental thing. It's not necessarily a physical thing when it comes to that. I think that's something, I don't know that women thoroughly understand that. Yes, he was significantly bigger than me, but I had the mental edge over him because, I dominated him his whole life and everything that we had done. So I guess in his mind, I can think about even my daddy. And in my mind, it was my daddy. And he was going to be stronger. He was going to be, be able to take me. So yes, even that big boy, I remember 16, he was 16. We was just goofing around, but he was trying to go hard. And when he decided, I'm going to go hard, I was like, all right. My mind said, if I let him win, then he's got the upper hand and he'll know I can't take him. So I had to summon every bit of strength in my body to literally pick that boy up and body slam him like as hard as I could and make it seem like I was going like half strength to let him know, boy, you ain't ever gonna be able to take me. So stop. And that triggered something in his head like, yeah, I ain't never gonna be able to take him. And he never challenged me again. Now, I thought I was gonna die when he got up and left the room, because it took literally everything out of me. But for that moment, I had to put it in his head like, he don't look like he nothing, but he is something. So yes, even him being significantly bigger than me, it's just one of them things as a father, you got to be able to, there are certain milestones and there's a certain time when that boy feeling himself, you got to, I don't know where it come from, but you got to be able to put it in their head, he can still take me. And so, yeah, if I had to, yeah, I'd have beat his ass.
You know what? I 1000% agree with you, and I believe you, because every Thanksgiving, there's two stories that we always tell at the Thanksgiving table. One is when my sister stabbed my brother in the hand with a fork, and two is my daddy and my brother played football throughout high school and college, and he was a good, 275, all muscle. He was so into his body and everything. And to this day, we don't remember what he did, but my daddy picked him up and threw him into the china cabinet. It was, while it wasn't funny at the time, it was very scary because we thought that my brother was going to die. We tell that story every Thanksgiving at the Thanksgiving dinner table and laugh our asses off. It's just, so I totally believe you.
Yeah, it's just one of them things you have to do as a dad. Hopefully you never have to do it, but usually you have to do it.
Well, I believe you, and I believe you because my daddy did.
One of these days I'm going to have to ask you about that china cabinet. How much money?
Oh my!
How much money did your
God.
daddy break with the big fancy china cabinet? Like, wow. But
My mother did not talk to him for about a week because he broke the glass in it and her favorite set of china that her mother gave her. And it's a whole long story that nobody needs to hear. But yes, he did break the china cabinet, but he got it replaced in his defense.
oh, I'm sure he did. All right. Anything else? You don't want to bully
That's
me no
it.
more?
I will always, always bully you. That is what I do.
You're out of here. That daggone Myosha. No, for real. You, this is kind of changing subjects, but I think most men on here and some women, like Valerie Davis, I see Valerie up there. Most men and a few women can attest to the fact that, and I imagine women have to do it with their daughters as well, but most men can attest to the fact that, yeah, you have to do sometimes what you have to do. You have to do what you have to do. And again, my son, he's not my biological son. He's, when I met my ex-wife, he was 6 months old. So I raised him from the time he was 6 months old, until. And he is, how tall is he? I think he's like 5'10", 5'11", something like that. He played for, it wasn't a major college. He didn't play like Division I. It was a college in Pennsylvania. He was a defensive back. So he was big and he was tall and he was really fast, which is why he played defensive back. But he towered over me and he was like pure muscle. 16. He was pure muscle. He played football from kindergarten through college. And, he played up in Hamilton. And then them boys at that time, they was really into working out. And they would spend all day in the daggone gym. And, he was at home doing push-ups and sit-ups. So by the time he was 16, he was pure muscle. I don't know how much the boy weighed. But he was much bigger than me, much taller than me. And we used to goof around, wrestle around. And I remember that day so vividly. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, he going hard. And you know how you could tell from the look in their face? Daryl says he must have got his build from his mama. Why would you say that? I said he was, when I met his mama, he was 6 months old. He's not my biological son. The logic behind that don't make sense. How was his daddy built, Daryl? Come on now, just some of the stuff y'all be saying don't make sense. You got jokes. At least your jokes should make sense. Come on. But, yeah, I could tell by the look on his face. He was serious. He was Like he was going to take me. So I just had to, I wrestled a little bit. And, of course, I was the HVWA World Heavyweight Champion. So I had something for him. But when oh, my God, I remember when I had put him down, he was looking at me, and he was about to cry. And I let him up, and he got up, and he went downstairs. And I remember rolling over. Oh, my God, I'm so glad he didn't want to go for round 2. Oh, I'm so glad he didn't want to go for round 2. He would have took me in round 2. I wouldn't have had a shot. But that's one of the things, which is kind of what Wyatt was talking about at the end of his show, which how we got here, I don't know. Maybe it's just the universe trying to share some information with women. But it's mental. So either way, Daryl said he told me he would have. I'm telling you right now, he would have put it on me if we went for round 2. He would have put it on me. No ifs, no ands, no buts. I summoned all that I had to pick that boy up and body slam him. And I did it hard enough for him to feel it, but not so hard that it would hurt him. It's a balance there. But oh boy, he would have. He would have definitely put it on me. He gave you that, you not my daddy. He would have. He probably would have. Well, no, he never felt that way again. He was 6 months old when I met him, so I was what he knew. But if he would have got caught downtown, jumping, for the sake of argument, some innocent guy, yeah, I'd have beat that ass. And it would have been more mental. It'd have been more mental. Mary say, that's your side of the story. No, that's the actual story. I want to say you could ask him, but I ain't no telling what he would say. But we talk about it every once in a blue moon. Every once in a blue moon it come up and we talk about it. And now he know if we would have won a second round. Because, he a grown man now. He got his own kids. Now he know if we would have won a second round, he would have won. But at the time, he had no idea. He thought I was getting ready to really hurt him. He's told me that. I didn't. But that was what was going through his head. Like, he about to really hurt me. He didn't know just that slam was all I had. It was all I had. But yeah, no. I would not have wanted to be punished for some of the bad stuff that he did. I wouldn't. So, yeah. This whole notion of punish the parents. That's bad. Vincent say that's what's missing now, Emanuel, the mental. Because it is mental. And again, you got parents who aren't appropriately raising their children. They don't know how, I think a lot of them. Mike.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Okay. I would like to jump into this conversation about having to put your kid in check.
Oh, okay.
And my situation was somewhat like yours. This was back in 1999. I was about 45 years old, and I had a stepson, and he was 15 years old at the time. And we would always box, and I was in his life from the time he was about 12. So, and he knew his dad and everything. And I married his mom. And from 12 years old, I would box with him, push him around, kind of like manhandling and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
From 12 years old, it was our thing. We'd go out on the patio and, hey, round after round. So when he was 15, we were out there and we were boxing, and it was all body shots, nothing to the head. And I was feeling his punches, but I couldn't give in. And I don't know how we stopped, but we stopped. And the next morning, I had purple marks on my stomach everywhere he hit me. And that's the first time that ever happened in my life. And I told him the next time he wanted to, come on, Pops, come on, man, let's go around. I said, no, you have graduated, my son. You passed the test, and you're ready to be who you're going to be. Well, about 6 months after that, we were getting ready for church one morning. And I went in there, I was rushing and everything, and told him, hey, son, come on. Oh, what you mean? I'm taking my time, I'm doing this and that. The next thing I know, he cold cocked me on the chin. And my head swiveled, and I came back, and this was in his bedroom. He fell on the bed, and I'm doing everything I can. I'm thinking, I got to get this lick back. He was rope-a-dope in the bed. I couldn't get a punch in. I'm swinging. I'm even aiming, and every time I miss, mama. She runs in the room. Stop it. Don't hurt him. And I'm thinking, I just want to get my punch back. But she saying, don't stop it. He's saying, yeah. But he was ducking. So anyway, I'm saying that to say he was bigger than me. He probably weighed, I don't know, he probably outweighed me by at least 40 pounds.
Okay.
And so I'm saying that to say, sometimes you have to check your son in a physical way, because it's almost like a rite of passage or something that they might try you. And he had a younger brother, 3 years younger than him. Well, one day we were at church. He's about 16 years old, taller than me. And we were coming out of the kitchen, and I told him to do something. And he made a remark that he never made before, almost like, you can't tell me to something like that. And I punched him in the chest hard, not too hard, like he was an enemy, but I wanted him to feel it. And this was the first time because he was a very easygoing kid. This one was.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the first time I ever had to physically punish him, because he was about 8 when I came into his life, and he's mild mannered. I tell him to do things, he'll do it. He'll mope like any other kid. And I say, hey, didn't I tell you to do it? Yes, sir. That kind of thing. So he was totally, he had this shocked look on his face like, you hit me. And I almost felt bad for it, guilty. Like, I'm sorry, but I didn't say I was sorry. I said, do what I told you to do. And I turned and walked away. Whether he did it or not, I didn't even care. Because I hated that I had to do that to him. But I had to do that to him.
Okay. I don't know that you had to do that one, but I understand the mind. I understand the mentality behind it.
Yeah. And maybe I didn't have to. I don't regret it at all, though. And to this day, he respects me so much. But you were talking about the kids that are that they keep showing on the news that are beating people up. And the first thing that came to my mind, and still weighs heavily in my mind, is I'm thinking, when our kids are rowdy, they go out and beat people up. When their kids are rowdy, they go into a mall and start shooting, or to a church and start shooting. I think they have the bigger problem. We can work with our kids on this. We can try things, but what do you do when you got mass murderers? What do you do for them? So we're in a better position as far as that's concerned. And I think that is the bigger problem. The mass murdering, that's the real problem. Kids fighting on the street, you can do something about that. I mean, anybody, any logical thinking person can come up with an idea like, how about if we put cameras at Central Parkway in Elm, Central Parkway in Vine, Central Parkway in Race, free cameras, can't cost that much, and put another series of cameras strategically in other places, and you got somebody at a remote location, and all they do is look at the camera. Right? Just, you may have 2 or 3 people. All they do is just watch the camera. And you see a group of 7 or 8 black guys get off the bus and they're walking. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But there is such a thing as an MO. And when people create an MO, you should go with it without being offensive. You can do that. So then you just say, there is a group of 6 or 7 black young men at Race and Central Parkway, and they're going south. Okay, so you got a police car, and all the police cars do is just drive and just park. That's all they do. There's nothing wrong with that. And of course, those 6 or 7 black guys will probably see the police car. And so there's things you can do. There's ideas you can put in place. So I wanted to make that comment.
Well, let me, I don't want to say correct. You said our kids might go out and, jump people, whatever, and their kids go and shoot up the place. I want to be clear. Yes. Black kids ain't the only kids to go out and assault innocent people. It happens in white neighborhoods and Latino neighborhoods. I can't necessarily say Asians, but I watch karate movies, so in my mind it happened in Asian communities too. They just do it with karate. But it happens across the board. So it's not, I hate when, and I'm not saying you were doing this, but I hate when we look at our community like, we're the only ones who do some of this stuff. Number one, it's a very small percentage of the young people. What, it was like 10 kids? If you add both incidents together, you got 20 kids, maybe. Yeah. 20 out of how many black kids live in Cincinnati? So, we're attributing their behavior to all of the young people, and I don't like that. And then number 2, like I said, it's happening. It happens across the board, across communities, and all of that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. I understand what you're saying. I don't know the whole camera thing. I mean, in theory, we should have cameras up all over the city. The city should be blanketed with cameras. When you're in public, you have no reasonable reason to believe that you have any sort of privacy. So all over the city, not just black neighborhoods, all over the city should be blanketed with cameras.
I agree. But they're probably not being used effectively.
Well, I mean,
For example, the idea I gave you.
I don't know that. I mean, I guess you could hire people to just sit and watch all of the cameras all over the city 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But
well, no, not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I would say target certain times. You might miss it, but you will have targeted certain times based on whatever information you use in order to make that decision. So, but the thing I was really trying to highlight, though, Emanuel, is they, and when I say they, I mean the media, they are portraying these two events of these kids, one jumping on the white man and the other one jumping on the young black boy.
mm-hmm.
So they keep showing that and showing that.
Right.
And people are forming opinions of watching this. And my main point is when your white kids do physical harm to people, they usually use a gun and they walk into an area and just start shooting. Which one is really worse? I don't even have to ask for an answer.
All right.
I'd rather live in a city where this happens. This is the big crime. People jumping on somebody. As opposed to there's been another mass shooting. And you know what? The thing they don't mention, and I'm going to ask this question. Have you ever heard of a young black kid walking into a black school and just start shooting people?
I haven't. I can't say that means that it hasn't happened.
But if it had happened, do you think you would hear about it? Wouldn't they call it another mass school shooting? Wouldn't they? Or would they say,
I think they would, yeah.
Exactly. So the fact that you haven't heard it happen, doesn't that mean, and I hate to say, well, not necessarily because it's not, but doesn't that mean it did not happen?
No. It again, it could just mean that I don't recall, but it could have happened. But I understand your point. I understand your point.
Yeah. So that's what I'm emphasizing. I think there's several plans we can put into place to help our young people. And we should just do the gathering of the minds, the meeting of the minds, and let people do that and come up with ideas and put them into action. But there's no plan for the mass shooter. The only thing they do is say, how can we defend ourselves better?
All right.
So I listen to your show a lot every day.
Hey, I appreciate it.
And I'm gonna start calling more too, because
please do.
I have things to say, as you say.
Yeah. All right.
And I'm glad you're not on the radio anymore, because when you were on the radio, you had to limit people's time to like 2 or 3 minutes, understandably. So anyway, that's it.
All right, Mike. Hey, I appreciate your call and your support.
Bye.
All right. That was Mike. I get what he's saying. I really do. I understand what he's saying. Look, I'm of the belief, and it's just my belief. I'm not telling you have to agree with me, or I'm not even necessarily saying that I'm 100% correct. I'm of the belief that the solution to the problem doesn't exist. We're never going to get rid of violence. Just like wars are always going to exist. Violence, young people doing stupid stuff, violent stuff is always going to exist. There's always going to be a group of derelict parents who don't do a good job raising their children if they even try. Now that don't mean don't, because again, I think is the term mitigate some of that is being a good positive influence. But I don't think there's a solution. Fame.
Hi, how you doing?
Fame, I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, that's absolutely outstanding. I'm doing fine. Hi, everybody. My name is Fame Rothstein. You can call me Beowulf. And I'm pretty flabbergasted and disgusted at the comments that I've been hearing in that last phone call. It's 2024, and we're still, as black people, out here qualifying beating kids. We always want to talk about pro-black this, pro-black that. Well, you learn beating the hell out of kids from slavery. Why are you bringing that practice into your house in 2024, or even trying to romanticize it? Like, and qualify it. Like, well, I only hit him so hard, blah, blah, blah. No, you hit him, you asshole.
I reject.
Quit hitting kids.
Hold on. I reject the idea that it's wrong, just across the board. Wrong, don't ever hit a kid. I reject that.
Oh, I'm sorry that you reject that. I'll wholly accept it. I don't care about what the Bible say. I don't follow that religious text.
I'm not even talking about the Bible.
I'm just I know, because I know that's what I saw that in the audience as well. You know what I'm saying in the comments. We're sitting here. We sit here and listen to a man qualify why he's beating on kids.
They were boxing, man.
No, he was trying to hurt him. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. I only hit him so hard. How do you know how hard you hit him? You don't know. You ain't got no punch-o-meter on your body where you know how hard you threw a punch at somebody. Just because you didn't draw blood don't mean you didn't hurt him.
Well, no, you have an idea of, what, especially, look, if you raised around somebody, I don't know in terms of physical activities that you've done, right? You boxed before though, right?
I mean, yeah, every young man, tried to lace him up once.
Right. And if there was a person that you boxed with on a regular basis, and you have an idea of, number one, how hard you can hit, and an idea of what they're used to you doing. Especially, what I'm saying, it's your son. Y'all kind of box a little bit here and there. You know how hard you've hit him, and when maybe you hit him a little too hard, and you can see that in a person. Even if they don't say, "Hey, you hit me too hard," you can kind of see that in a person. So it's reasonable for a dad to be able to say, "I hit him hard, but I didn't hit him too hard," because you know how hard you hit. That's reasonable. That's reasonable, man.
I couldn't agree less. I remember when Adrian Peterson, who happens to be one of my favorite NFL players ever, when he got in trouble for whipping his kid. I'm like, why did you hit? First of all, you are, been lifting weights like a madman since you were 19 years old, a professional athlete in his prime, professional football player in his prime. Why would you hit a seven-year-old biracial boy with a switch and not think that people ain't finna find out about it? Where you can leave that type of, bruise on him. Again, you're Adrian Peterson, 6'1", 200 and some odd pounds, one of the most physically gifted people in the world. Why are you hitting a 7-year-old? And all these black people had all these excuses for him. Oh, you whooped that butt. That's all you did. Blah, 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 all that. No. You effed him up. That's why the police got involved, because you effed him up.
Well,
go Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I can't speak for what Adrian Peterson did, how hard he hit, and all of that kind of stuff. I can't
He hit the
speak.
shit out of him.
Well,
He left bruises.
again,
He left him black and blue, even though he was biracial.
well, but I don't know what him being biracial had to do with it. But
Well, because it's like hitting anybody that's light skinned, you're gonna leave a bruise.
that's not necessarily true.
Okay. Okay. Continue. What were you saying? I'm sorry, sir.
You got any kids?
Yeah, got a bunch of them.
And they've never had any type of
Once.
physical correction?
One time, and I felt horrible. And I said, never again.
And I'm gonna guess that means they didn't need it.
No, there were times where it probably should have, but I thought better of the situation, and a nice, simple chat will correct the behavior.
Oh.
Instead of cussing, calling them dumb motherfuckers and all that kind of stuff. You know, you've seen those women at Walmart.
Yes, I've seen that.
19
I don't
years
like
old
that.
with a 19, 22 years old with a 3-year-old. Touch something else, I'm going to fuck you up.
I have
You
seen
know, that
that.
kind of stuff.
But
Okay.
here's what I have to ask you. How I don't want to ask you that. It's too personal.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. Well, if it's going to be personal, yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah, I don't want to ask you that.
But dig it. You know, it's just like, the same thing with those kids downtown. I don't give a damn what white people are doing. They shooting up schools, shooting up malls. I'm worried about my kids. These are the kids I'm worried about.
So what do you want to see happen to those kids?
No, because those kids all need to be arrested and had the book thrown at them.
Okay.
I just seen a video of some girl, these are young adults. Look, a couple of them look like teens. They go in some girl's house while she's in the shower and jump her, while her kid's on the toilet. I'm like, put a book at all these kids. This is where they get the violence from. You parents making excuses about why they beating on their kids.
All right. Now, do you feel the same way when you see police officers abuse people?
Sometimes, yes. There's only been a few of those when I was like, you need. There was a few of those when I was like, yeah, that police needs to have a book thrown at him. But there were a few of those as well where I was like, once the police got you, just chill the fuck out.
But if you don't, they
make
shouldn't.
it worse.
But if you don't, they should not hit you, right?
They shouldn't. But if they do, your
they-
job is to get to court.
But they definitely shouldn't, though, right?
People always do stuff that they shouldn't do.
Oh, it sounds like
you should be working at Radio 1.
No, I shouldn't. So, but it sounds like you kind of giving a pass to police when they do it, and you're really being hard on, in particular,
Dude, I've been
black
arrested.
people when
I've
they
been
do it.
arrested 20 times. Been to the joint. A cop ain't never put his hands on me.
Really?
Because I realized once the cop come through, the jig is up. All right,
Really?
Just get to court. Yes, there's no need for all that.
Lucky
You know,
because some of
you know,
us have
people who
done
do that
nothing
shit.
wrong and had hands put on us.
That's because you wildin'. You're scared to go to jail.
No.
You're wildin'.
No.
You're talking shit.
No, at
You're
a
telling
traffic
cops, you know,
stop,
you
when you're
agitating them.
doing everything that the law enforcement official tells you to do, and he tells you to get out the car, and then he hits you with that nightstick.
I ain't never seen that. I ain't, just like they say, bullets ain't got no name. Ain't no such thing as a stray. It's the same thing there. You did something and had it coming.
Oh.
And it wasn't just DWB.
Oh. So you can do something and have it coming with the police, but not with your parents. So it's okay for the police to use physical force to
No, I never once
correct
said it was
you.
okay.
You
I never once
just
said it was
said you
okay.
brought it on yourself. You deserved it. You just said that.
No, I didn't say it was okay, but you did bring it up on yourself. I didn't say it was okay. I just said that you
Sound like
you
you
brought
saying
up that
it's
type
okay.
of. Say what?
Sound like you saying it's okay. And there
No,
are
I'm not.
there,
No, that's just what
there
you're
have been
inferring.
many times when law enforcement has assaulted people who were doing nothing wrong.
No, okay. Put it like this. Tamir Rice didn't deserve it. The brother in New York over the cigarettes didn't deserve it. But the guy running through the backyard and out in California, Stockton, California, at 3 a.m, where it's pitch black, you get what's coming to you because you got no business running through people's backyards at 3 a.m.
And couldn't a parent use that same logic? I don't want to put my hands on you, but you got no business doing whatever it is that you're doing. So you brought it on yourself.
Absolutely not, because that kid is looking for you for guidance and warmth, and you're guiding them to a violent lifestyle. That's probably why those kids are downtown jumping people, doing ignorant shit, because they have violent parents. Somebody in their household, it's just like King Griffey
I don't
Jr.
necessarily
says
disagree
about
with you.
It's just like King Griffey Jr. says about baseball. While there's a posse of black kids playing baseball, somebody in your household has to like baseball. For you to go downtown and act like that in the middle of the damn work, rush hour traffic, in the middle of part of downtown, the business district, for you to behave like that, you were influenced by somebody. Somebody in your house enjoys
It's not true.
violence.
It's not true. It's 100% untrue. I did
Okay,
stuff
so all those kids were
that I
great
know
students.
nobody in my house did or would approve of or whatever. So the idea that the only people who see it in their house, that you only mirror what you see in your house, that's just false.
Okay, well, yeah, obviously there's going to be hanger-ons, but at the same time, those people are influenced by the people they're hanging on to. Trust me, for you to just go out and sock somebody, jump. I remember being at the damn Centos Center years ago, watching the Martin Luther King hoop game, and there's a basketball on the court, and then in the top rafters, these guys are out here jumping somebody, beating some kid out of his coat.
I remember that too.
Oh, so you were there. You know what I'm talking about. It's like, what the hell is this? I grab my nephews, like, we out. We didn't even watch the rest of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a certain trigger in you, that lack of human decency. It came from somewhere else.
But it didn't.
You
My
were
point is,
influenced
it
into
didn't
that.
necessarily have to come from within the house, which is initially what you said.
Or your auntie house, somewhere where you go regularly. Or it could be the music.
It could be the music.
Yeah.
It could just be your friends. It could be any number of
somebody,
things.
Right. For 15 people to jump a 15-year-old, one of the ringleaders sees violence regularly and enjoys it, and was able to coax the other people to get involved.
Maybe he watches boxing or MMA.
No, because
Yeah.
those are one-on-one sports. They handle it.
Those are still
They handle
violent
that.
sports, and you can't be against seeing violence and then say, "Well, no, not organized violence." Come on, violence is violence.
No, not at all.
Oh, violence
Because
is
that's
not
organized.
violence. Okay.
No, it's organized. People are being paid, and two, like I said, people like boxers. Like boxers, they don't mind a good one-on-one. Like the kids the kids who used to go to the neighborhood house when we were young and whatnot, they didn't mind a good one-on-one Donnybrook.
But the
You know what I'm
idea that you're floating, which I don't necessarily agree with, but you're floating the idea, and I'm just trying to make it make sense, because I don't necessarily I want to see where you're coming from. So what you're saying is someone has seen and is influenced by violence. They've seen it and they like the look of violence, so they want to participate in violence. And I'm saying it doesn't necessarily have to be the parent that they saw it. They could just like watching MMA. They could just like watching boxing. They could just like watching wrestling. Although it's scripted, it looks very violent. And that could be the thing that they see violent, that they want to emulate. Violence.
Okay, 15-on-1. I've never seen that on an MMA. You only see that on pro wrestling. And everybody.
No
knows
one
it's fake.
said it's not necessarily they're emulating the numbers. They're emulating the act of violence.
They're emulating
the
act
numbers of violence.
They're emulating the numbers, and they're emulating the tomfoolery, the get-along game.
Heck, they could have been watching basketball or football.
No, because they football players don't fight, and basketball players definitely don't fight. Football players just push and shove.
They all,
Punk ass
it don't
basketball
matter
players don't
if it's
fight.
violence. They've seen violence. You're trying to say, well, they only saw this level of violence, so they'll only do this level of violence. They only saw one-on-one, so they'll only fight one-on-one. That's not reasonable.
That's what your callers are doing, and listeners in the phone, they're qualifying it. I only hit my kid this hard.
That don't make it reasonable. You just spoke against that, and now you're trying to use that to excuse what you're doing.
No, I'm not excusing it. I'm about no violence. I'm about no violence.
You're not about no violence, but
okay.
You're not. You're clearly not. You like boxing. You like MMA. Those are violence. So you're not for no violence. You're for some violence.
I'm watching combat. Violence is the American way, but not attacking.
So you're
in the middle.
So then don't say you're for no violence, because you're clearly not. But
no, I'm talking about unmitigated.
Again, all of this is
violence.
Again, all of this is you trying to say that any young person walking down the street who assaults another person saw it in their home. And all I'm trying to get you to understand is that's not necessarily true. They didn't have to necessarily see it in their home. There's violence all around them. That's all I'm trying to get you to understand.
I'll accept your point. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but we'll agree to disagree on the whole thing. Because I wanted to ask you, have you seen that We Are the World thing on Netflix?
I haven't watched it yet. No.
No, it's pretty interesting. It's a good story, about how they all got together and blah blah blah. But what I did know was I kind of saw this would happen. I just didn't know who it was. But the dude who sings the Duke Boy, Waylon Jennings, he left. He walked out. Like he didn't want to be a part of it anymore. When they were doing some Swahili part or something. Just kind of made me think like, yeah, they're probably, Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie are in charge of it. He probably was just like, I ain't about to listen to these two ends tell me how to sing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. What line about it?
Don't forget Quincy was there too, so that was three ends telling him how to sing.
Exactly. He probably just didn't want to deal with that no more. But no, it's a great story. If you got what is that, Netflix? If you got that, check it out. It's an hour worth your time.
I definitely will.
But that's all I got. Hey, it's always a pleasure. It's been real, and we'll chat it up again soon. Peace.
All right. He didn't how. I was waiting for the how. Yeah, no. The idea that anyone who's you had to have seen violence in your home and it's got to be encouraged in your home and all of that kind of stuff. I don't agree with that. Clearly, everyone is influenced by something. But it's got to be in the home. Nah. Ron D.
What up, man?
How you doing?
I'm grateful. Man, look, Fame was talking shit. Now, first of all, he said it when he just about finished this call. We live in a violent society. Our society was built on violence. It's time out for all that. We learn in the homes and all that other stuff. In my home, when I was young, it was domestic violence, and all around me. But I grew up in the 70s. That's when you could smack a woman in the mouth and be like, it ain't no thing. But and I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying that it wasn't no issue, wasn't no domestic violence laws. There wasn't wasn't no cameras being videotaped. But one thing that I would say that you were right on. Well, a couple of things that you were right on, but it's not going nowhere. It's not going. The violent behavior isn't going anywhere. The children, they aren't going to get no better. It's no healing mechanism for us to just kumbaya and all of them just get along. Our society is becoming more violent and more violent. And what's a trip in America? This is getting ready to be the year of chaos. Um, last week it was a um, migrant that or tried to speak in front of council last Wednesday. He was from Senegal,
All right.
and you know, you know, around, you can get Spanish speaking people. They're a dime a dozen. There's somebody around that speaks Spanish. But this gentleman from Senegal spoke French. And I don't know if anybody seen the dialogue. I think Prosper was looking, but Abtab didn't have a dialogue. He couldn't dialogue with him. He was trying to. The person from Senegal was trying to explain what the situation was, and of course Abtab couldn't understand him. But I could understand what he was saying, what he was trying to say a little bit. And he was talking about, violence where he was staying.
Okay.
But now it's millions of people up here and millions of people coming. The new, and I don't even want to get into politics. This is time out for all that. The thing about it is, 2024 is going to be different. It's already different. And, Blade, we talk about Blade and his purge and what he was talking about, the purge and all that stuff. But what is it going to be when it's just chaos in the United States? Because everybody, United States speak English. All you got a million or 8 million people up here speaking all different types of languages. If you go back to the Bible, it's just like the Tower of Babel. How God confused the languages and it broke out in chaos.
Wait, so that's
Now,
wait, hold on, Ron. Your concern is having multiple languages spoken in this country?
no, it's not multiple languages. It's the fact that, okay, see, now the State Department has already warned us about terrorist attacks,
Oh.
and the State Department is really warning about our electrical grids.
Okay.
Now, if our electrical grids go out, if it's a terrorist attack,
All right.
and not even, if it's a terrorist attack, our electrical grids go out.
All right.
Now, everybody gonna be trying to, gather whatever they can gather. And if somebody come to my house,
All right.
and if there's something like that, a terrorist attack or something, see, you couldn't come to my house and say, hey, can I get some, or if you didn't speak my language, you really couldn't get anything from me. I couldn't understand what you're talking about. It's chaos by accident right now.
There are ways that people would be able to communicate with people even if they don't speak the same language. But I'm trying to understand why this is a major concern of yours.
Well, it's a major concern, first of all, because it's going to happen. Second of all, because I'm talking about the chaos that is I'm concerned about our kids.
Hold on, you said I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You're concerned about what?
I'm concerned about our kids.
Our kids. Okay.
Our young people, like you said, they, they're not, the violence isn't going to go away. And young folk are out here not playing. I used to think I was stacked up with an AR and some handguns around. These boys, I can't believe what these boys got. I can't even believe how they afford it. But the arsenal that these young kids have and the direction that they're going, we need to make sure that, yes, and chaos by accident, Doctor, we need to make sure that we have a handle on them when this chaos comes. That's what
hold
I'm
on.
saying.
I want to pause you. Hold on, let me pause you for a second, because it sounds like we've jumped topics. You're no longer talking about having multiple languages spoken. Now you switched to something.
No. It's the same. It's the same topic. It's the same topic.
How?
Because.
Well, hold on. Before you tell me hold on, Ron. I want you to gather your thoughts for a second, because having the multiple languages, like, I had a friend who grew up in Zimbabwe. She was born and raised in Zimbabwe. She came here, and she told me that she speaks, I think it was 6 or 8 different languages, because in her country, there are 6 or 8 different languages spoken. And so just growing up as a child, she learned 6 to 8 different languages. And I don't remember whether it was 6 or 8, but she learned, well, I'll just say 6 different languages. I don't understand how knowing 6 languages is a path to chaos.
Well, it's a trip. Okay. 6 different languages.
Right.
It's not a path to chaos.
Okay.
Knowing 6 different languages creates you a path to riches.
Okay.
But that's not what I'm saying.
Right. That's why I don't understand.
Being in Cincinnati, Ohio, and not being able to speak English. Right. And not even be able to speak Spanish. Right. Because there's a lot of Spanish bilingual people over here that can even speak English and Spanish, but it's not many people over here that can speak French. It's right. They're not just walking around. Right. Okay. See, so I'm talking, and the people that's coming across the southern border are not just Spanish speaking people. Okay. You do know that, don't you? I'm fine with that. Again, I'm trying to wait to hear the problem. But you do know that, don't you? It's not just Spanish-speaking people that's coming across the border. Okay, I'm still waiting to hear the problem with this. Because if I can speak a little Spanish, but if you come to me with French, I can't understand a word. Okay. And I still don't get the problem. I'm explaining to you. I'm waiting to get to it. If nobody can speak your, let's take a picture. Let's say do it this way. Okay. Imagine if everybody here spoke just like you said, Swahili right now. There's some kind of way somebody just spoke Swahili right now. Okay. Could you get around and communicate? I mean, you get around because you in the United States, but could you communicate with everybody and get what you need? I think I could effectively communicate enough to get what I need. Okay. You got all the answers. But anyway, you mad at me? But what I'm saying, I couldn't. I couldn't. I could go and get my stuff and go get stuff that I know where it is and all that other stuff. You can use hand signals and all that. There are some internet. I'm choking. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be able to say I'm choking in French. You know what I'm saying? What's hand signal for water? What's hand signal for water in Swahili? I don't know what the hand signal, but I could communicate. To someone that I need some water. You know what I'm saying? I would figure out a way to get water. You're being cynical and not. You're being cynical. I'm being. Okay. again.
Do you know what cynical means?
Anybody again, you know, anybody, you know, they can, like I said, Prival couldn't tell what he was saying,
I might not
and
look, Ron.
he couldn't tell what he was saying,
Ron.
and the dude from Senegal couldn't tell
And I
what he was saying.
still don't
That
understand the point of the story.
That creates a chaotic situation because it was something that he had an issue with, and that issue couldn't get taken care of because they didn't understand each other. So if he goes back to whatever that situation is, and he handles it the way that he handles it in his country, no matter what the situation is, that's a problem. That could create a problem, right? Would you agree with that?
I don't even understand it. I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay. You don't understand it.
No.
You don't understand.
No.
That because of his language barrier.
All right.
He could go back potentially in that situation, whatever his situation was, and handle it like he handles it in his country, and it be the wrong way. It be not how we handle things here.
Okay, even
and
if
it will create
Ron,
a chaotic. Wait a minute. It will create a chaotic situation, not only for him, but for the other ones involved.
Okay, Ron,
involved.
May I respond?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not sure what your definition of chaos is. Okay, but so here's what I'll say.
A situation. How about that? Not a situation. A situation. Uncontrollable situation.
Here's what I'll say.
Instead of chaos.
Okay, here's what I'll say. Look, you dropped me off in Russia. I don't speak no Russian. I'd like to think that I'm going to figure out a way to effectively communicate to people that I'm hungry or that I'm thirsty, that I'm choking. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. I like to think that I could effectively communicate that, but me being there will not create this amazing chaos for the country. And
okay, now wait. No, wait right there. Wait right there. Now you, one person, going in to Russia. That's what you said. Now, talk about 8 million people coming to the United States. Talk about 8 million. 8 million coming to the United States.
May I?
And that's not going to create chaos. It's already chaos.
May I talk about it?
Go ahead.
Ron, haven't you noticed that you see a lot of signs now in English and in Spanish? One thing
I don't care about Spanish.
Ron.
I don't care about Spanish.
Ron.
The majority of
Ron.
It has Venezuelan.
Ron, I thought we was gonna have a conversation.
Okay,
I'll be shutting up when you be talking and let you get it out.
Go ahead.
Just like you see just like you see all of these signs in English and in Spanish, if French becomes a dominant language, guess what? You'll start seeing signs in English and Spanish and French. And guess what else will happen? You will see in schools kids learning English, and just like how now there are some curriculum or some schools and a part of their curriculum is they're teaching children Spanish so that the kids know Spanish and English. And then if French becomes a dominant language here, they'll be teaching them English and French and Spanish.
First of all,
and eventually, hold on, I'm almost done. And eventually we'll be like my friend from Zimbabwe, and will speak 8 languages.
See, you trying to bullshit. You trying to bullshit. Because the problem ain't eventually. The problem is right now.
How?
The problem ain't eventually.
How is the problem right now?
No.
Yeah.
Isn't,
How is the problem right now?
the problem isn't eventually. The problem is right now.
How is the
We
problem
have-
right?
We
You
can have,
said
we,
that.
we not going. We not going to have 8 million crossings at the southern border right now. 8 million immigrants in the future. We
Ron,
got 8 million
Ron,
immigrants right now.
Ron,
But we got
Ron,
them right now.
Ron.
I'm talking about right now.
Ron.
Yes.
You're telling me that we have 8 million people in this country right now that they're. But can I get the question out? Can I get the question out? Can I get the question out?
Okay, go ahead.
You're telling me that right now we have 8 million immigrants in the United States and their primary and maybe only language is French?
Oh, God. You know what? You see.
You
That's
said
bullshit.
this is the problem right now.
No, I said.
You said it's the problem right now.
The problem is, wait a minute. You said eventually we'll have people speaking French.
Right.
But see, eventually it's down the line.
Right.
And that wait. And
I'm disagreeing with
that eventually speaking French is bullshit. Everybody knows.
You said it, Ron. It was your example.
Now, you could probably get Spanish. We got to teach people to speak Spanish first. But now is the time that 8 million people have crossed the border. See, it's not eventually. It's right now. Right now.
Ron.
Right, hold on.
No,
okay.
Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to mix 2 different things but keep them separate at the same time. So you're talking about, Ron, you are talking about people coming over here only being able to speak French. And then you say, it's not eventually because it's happening right now. So then when I say, you're telling me there are 8 million French speaking people right now? No, that's bullshit. You said it.
I did not say it was 8 million people speaking French. I said it's 8 million people that have crossed the border.
Right, but we were talking about people speaking French.
No, I'm talking about them speaking other languages.
No, you were specifically talking about French. People coming in here speaking French and that becoming an issue, creating chaos.
I was talking about the example, and I just gave you an example of Atab not being able to speak with a guy from Senegal because he was speaking French.
And I told you that down the line, that eventually if French becomes one of the dominant languages, then we'll deal with it then. And you said it's happening right now.
How long will Mandarin do it? Because it's Mandarin. How long would Mandarin do it? Because it's the people that speak in Mandarin Chinese here.
Is Mandarin one of the primary languages that you hear spoken?
It's people that speak Arabic speaking people at the southern border.
Right.
Well, I'm not talking about that.
Right.
And this is a trip because you want to argue with me about the border and all that stuff. I'm not talking about that.
That's exactly what you're talking about.
You're not listening, and you trying to create something.
I am listening.
Otherwise, you're trying to prove me wrong. But
I'm not
trying to come up with a solution.
I'm not trying to prove you wrong. You're proving you wrong. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying.
Hey, yeah, okay. Well, man, listen to what I'm saying.
All right.
You know,
try it again.
Kids are out here wilding right now. We got to go ahead and hone these kids in.
What does that have to do with nothing?
Wait a minute. We have to hone these kids in on one solid purpose. and one solid project. And that's the aphasia. I can't speak the exact words I want to speak, so I have to take ones that I know immediately to get my point across. That's the aphasia. Now, this is going to be chaos because young people out here in the streets, they ain't trying to see where you from. They knocking people on the head that they don't even know. Now, this is going to get worse before it gets better. And it ain't going to get no better. It's only going to get worse. So we got to hone our kids in
Okay.
on one
Okay.
on one
Yes.
on one level.
On one level.
And right now, chaos is being created because not only the language barriers, and again, you have to realize what situation we create when we need.
Why are you
everybody.
trying to mix
But
two things that don't mix? The
it
kid,
does
Ron.
mix
Hold on, Ron.
because-
Hold on,
because
Ron.
if
So,
everybody
Ron,
needs everybody,
Ron,
if we can
Ron,
communicate,
I don't want to, Ron.
yeah.
When you talk about the kids, I think we almost on the same page. Yes, we agree. We have to, but then you start mixing in other stuff that's got nothing to do with that. That's what I don't understand.
See, what it is.
I'm just trying to make it make sense.
But you thinking right now, oh, the kids doing something downtown and they jumped on people, You talking about the kids right now. Them kids that did that stuff, they gonna do it.
Ron,
They gonna do
Ron,
that.
I hate to be the one to point this out, but you're the one who just finished saying right before you started this last round.
I'm talking about 8 million people
no,
right now.
you said I'm talking about. You said I'm talking about right now, and then
I'm talking about 8 million people.
Are we talking
right
about
now.
8 million people, or are we talking about the kids?
Listen, you. Like I said, you trying to go ahead and prove me wrong or whatever.
I'm just trying to understand what the hell we talking about. Are we talking about the 8 million people, or are we talking about the kids?
You're being retarded because, like I said, if you can't understand the Bible, you just should.
What the Bible?
You know what the Tower of Babel is. Do you know what the Tower of Babel is?
What does the Tower of Babel have to do with these kids downtown?
Yes or no? Yes or no?
What does it have to do with these kids downtown?
Yes or no?
What does it have to do with the kids downtown?
Okay. What it is. And like you trying to switch the conversation up.
Ron, I gotta go. I'm up against the break.
What I'm saying is that we have, and it's not just Cincinnati kids everywhere.
Hold on, stop. Are we talking about the kids, the Tower of Babel, or the 8 million people?
Nah, man, you a clown, man.
I gotta go. I can't take it. Ah! What? How do you just go back and forth? And I'm the problem because I don't know what we actually talking about. The kids, I'm like, okay, we're talking about the kids. And the Tower of Babel, what, we talking about the Tower of Babel? Okay, how are you tying the Tower of Babel into the kids? Well, those 8 million people, how tying all of this together? How? And help me understand it. That's all I'm saying is I don't understand how you're tying it all together. And we're talking about present tense and future tense. And then I'm wrong for talking about future tense. But then he's talking about the present tense. And so I start talking about the present tense. And then he say, but you talking about now. What about the future? But I thought it was wrong to talk about the future. I thought we had to talk about now. All right, well, let's talk about now. In the future, we're going to be speaking French. I thought we wasn't talking about the future. Well, the kids is beating people on the head. Okay. The kids is beating people on the head. And you know you know about the Tower of Babel. What that got to do with the kids beating people on the head? But what if you don't speak French? I don't know what happened. We were having 3 different conversations all in one, and I just didn't understand what part of the conversation I was in at any point. I just wanted to know what I was talking about. That's it. You trying to prove me wrong. I'm just trying to find out the fuck we talking about. Key?
Emanuel?
Yes.
You had to get it out, huh? Oh my goodness! I ain't trying to have you fall out over there, had no heart attacks or whatever. You woosah real quick.
I just didn't understand what we was talking about.
I know y'all was going on and on and on and on. I guess you was trying to will it, trying to get it, but I don't know. Maybe he'll put it in the comments what he was trying to say.
And I tried to be patient with him because he told me he has aphasia. But I didn't know aphasia made you jump from topic to topic to topic and try to tie them together. When they don't tie together, you won't tie them together.
Did you ever look that up, the definition, and read it and see what that? Because I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either, but I take his word for it. He said it make it difficult for him to gather his thoughts and to put them into words and to get the words out. So I try to give him, space to, be able to kind of talk it out and help me understand. But today, I couldn't understand.
I know. You had to cuss and everything, huh?
I apologize, everybody.
No, you had
for
to
cussing.
get it out. That's why I called you.
Because I don't cuss. I don't cuss.
I know that's what you say, but then you said you was going to keep it real in 2024. So, do you cuss or what?
I don't cuss. I don't cuss. I know some cuss words, but I don't cuss.
Well, what do you call it then? Shut up, Daryl Carpenter.
I said I know some cuss words, but I don't cuss.
Oh, okay. So what do you call what you doing then? That sounds like a cuss word. What
I just did was terrible.
Oh, okay.
And I should not have said that word.
Oh, okay.
I apologize. Please don't punish my mom because I said a cuss word.
Oh, okay. You done calm down now. You still need a little bit more seconds.
I'm just still confused about what we were talking about. Maybe you can help me. Key, what does the man coming over here speaking French, or even a group of people coming over here speaking French, how does that tie into the kids downtown who they say are jumping people for nothing?
Well, that might be before my time. Maybe that's something back in his kid years.
No, he said it's happening right now.
About the coming over and speaking French and all that.
Yes,
That's happening right
and
now.
somehow that's affecting the kids down there jumping people.
Oh. I can't speak for him because he better probably translate. Maybe he'll call back after I hang up and better. Maybe he get his thoughts together. He said he good, so in the comments, so maybe he getting his thoughts together and he gonna call back after I hang up. Maybe he wrote it down and he'll read from the paper.
I just didn't understand, but let's move on.
What's going on, but
we gonna move on.
I'm just calling just to bring it down, lighten the mood a little bit. What do you want to talk about? You might not want to talk about that because it's probably gonna be in your brain. So let's get off the kids. Let's talk. We want to talk about something else.
I don't know that I have. I'm just getting ready to get out of here. I gotta go and do a few things, but.
Okay, what time you getting out? You getting out here now, or you just saying?
I got about 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, you sure you gonna get out? Because you always say that, and then you start going on and on.
Key,
in your head.
Just for you.
Okay, just for me.
I'm gonna get out of here in 4 or 5 minutes.
You say that. Okay, well, let's see. Let's talk about some stuff. Did you see that commercial for that Bob Marley movie I was telling you about that was coming out
I did.
on Valentine's Day? What you think about that?
It'll be interesting. I'll watch it when it comes to streaming.
Okay. Oh, you'll watch it.
Yeah, when it
Even
comes
though
to
the
streaming.
guy, I think the guy that's playing Bob Marley, ain't he English?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he is. I seen something on Extra today, and he said that Bob Marley's son handpicked him to play his dad. And when he was talking, I was like, I think he English or something.
Well, but I'm okay with that because Bob Marley was not American. So
Okay, but okay. So you okay if somebody play? So even though that guy ain't Jamaican, even though he's from a different
I'm
continent,
not Jamaican. I don't have any
so as
loyalty
long as
to
it ain't
Jamaica
English playing a Jamaican,
or to Jamaicans.
okay. So as long as it ain't somebody that's in a different language playing American, that's what you got a
And
problem
it's not
with.
even just an American. It's our African American historical icons.
Okay, you don't think Bob Marley a historical icon?
He's not an African American historical icon.
Oh, okay, so that's what you separate the two.
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
like, from a music standpoint, they can get whoever to play whoever. You know what I'm saying? If they get a British dude to play Stevie Wonder, I'm on the line with that because Stevie Wonder is, in my mind, reaches into the level of a African American historical icon. But at the same time, he's a musician, and so I'm a little bit all over the place on that. But just some generic or, kind of general African American, I'm all right with it.
Oh, okay. Okay, just checking. Okay, let's see. What else? Okay, it's I know you like desserts. You're trying to get off desserts and stuff. But it's this new place called, what's the Peach Factory? Where they sell like all different kinds of desserts in Hyde Park Plaza. What you think about that?
The
They
Peach
sell like
Factory?
peach cobbler, banana pudding, like all different kind of stuff.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's new. They just opened, I believe, Monday.
I might have to go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out and tell me how it is. It's in Hyde Park. It's called the Peach Factory.
The
And
Peach
it's a
Factory.
dessert place. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a dessert place. So yeah, just trying to take your head and off of that subject from the last call. Just trying to lighten the mood. Just talk about silly stuff that ain't nothing.
Tell me I need a good series to start watching.
A good series?
Yeah, on one of the streaming services because I got them all. A good TV series streaming on one of the streaming services.
I don't know if this is on the streaming service, but this is new one. I kind of wanted to check it out. It's called Irrational. It comes on NBC.
Oh, I saw that with the. I saw
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
That
so
one
you
that
seen
one
the
looked
part of
goofy
it?
to
How
me.
is it?
Huh?
How is it?
I've not seen it. I'm saying I saw the
Oh, you
preview
saw the
for
commercials
it.
and
That
the
one looked
previews.
goofy to me.
Okay, so you don't think that's gonna be good?
Yeah, it looked goofy.
Okay, look goofy to you. Okay. So look in the chat. Somebody said we are the world Sierra. Cause I'm not a good person to ask. I don't know. Cause I don't really only streaming I got is Amazon. Cause I don't got the passwords like you. Maybe you can hook me up
No,
with some passwords.
I can't do that. I had to fight to get all mine.
Okay, yeah, I know, Dad. You can't tell them though. They not gonna know.
They know.
They
have ways of knowing.
No, y'all the only one know that the key is just my nickname.
No, but they have ways of knowing. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, hey, this ain't your account. And then next thing you know, you froze out or I'm froze out. Yeah, nah, I can't.
Dag, man. Okay, well, yeah, I can't help you with that, Emanuel, because I'm not, I ain't got the codes like you, I ain't got the hookup like you and all them streamers, so I don't know the new shows. I only got Amazon.
All
So I
right.
can't help you. Maybe to check and hook you up or whatever, but you doing good otherwise?
Yeah, otherwise I'm doing good.
Okay, you feeling better?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to watch the replay because I don't know what you said at the beginning of the show. I know they was cutting you up about you full of poop. or whatever. So I don't know what that was about.
Yeah.
When I
yeah.
first came on,
Yeah,
so I
check
missed
out.
that.
I did
I'm gonna
not
have to
have.
rewatch it.
All I really said is I didn't have the procedure. They canceled the procedure. So we'll have to reschedule the procedure. That's it.
Oh, okay. But did you have to do all the stuff?
I didn't do all of the stuff. I did some of the stuff, but they
Oh,
stopped
okay.
me before I got into the heavy stuff. So
Right, like fasting and drinking all that liquid and
yeah,
stuff.
I didn't drink all that liquid.
Oh, okay. All righty. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go because it's after 5. So we'll see if you get off or you still be talking.
All right, Key.
All right. Well, all right. I'll talk to you later. You enjoy the rest of your day and be safe if you're heading out.
I appreciate you. You do the same.
All right, everybody in the chat. Talk to y'all later. All right. Bye.
All right. Terrence Key does not have a Facebook page. She does not have a Facebook page. I'm trying to convince her to start a Facebook page, but she does not have a Facebook page. All right, y'all. I guess that's about it. I got to get ready to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all well wishes. For those of y'all who was actually wishing me well. Some of y'all wasn't. But I appreciate all of the well wishes. I am really genuinely looking for a nice TV series to watch. Something interesting. Oh, hold on. Brent.
Those 8 kids running around, beating up people in Cincinnati are on the top of the Tower of Babel, surrounded by 8 million people who are speaking different languages. And what God is trying to tell those 8 children is to learn different languages so we do not have the chaos at the border because they don't know if they want bacon or ham. I think that's what he was trying to say.
And somehow that'll stop them from hitting people and jumping people.
No, you got it all wrong. That'll stop them from not making a proper meat selection once the waiter comes by for dinner. Oh man, I would love to see his mind hooked up to one of those monitors and see it just flashing all around.
I really was just trying to. I wasn't telling him he was wrong. I was trying to understand how it all tied together.
Man, I don't know how it. I don't know. But should I call back tomorrow to have the wrestling report Royal Rumble recap?
No. We can do it right now, and then I'll go.
All right. So we have the 2 victors of the Royal Rumble match was Bailey and also Cody Rhodes. It looks like he's going to get to continue the story. What were the highlights that were most memorable to you?
Of course, Jade Cargill.
Mm-hmm.
I knew she was coming, and I knew she was coming for Nia Jax. I think they presented her really strong. Yep. It would have been a bad idea for her to win. Because initially I thought she wins, and then but I think it would have been a bad idea based on some of the reports that we're hearing that she's still having problems remembering spots and all that kind of stuff. So she probably needs to get out there.
Yeah.
So I think that was a high.
With her though, all you have to do is put her in there with a Natalia or someone more experienced and allow them to call the entire match.
Yes.
You know, so that way you build her up. I don't like it. It almost seems like they had her play the role of a face. And I don't know if she's going to be a good girl.
I don't think she's going to be a face. Did you see the digital exclusive where they interviewed her after the match?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, after the match, she did a straight up heel promo talking about how much everybody love her and how good she is and how strong she is and how she's better than everybody else and all of that kind of stuff. So she did a heel promo.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good because her persona, just her air about her is like, oh yeah, she's an arrogant, son of a gun. So keep her with that. She's naturally good at it. Let her keep flowing in it. Now CM Punk gets hurt.
Yeah. And here's what I think. What I think they're gonna do, Brent, is, and I think they set it up Monday, is instead of Cody wrestling Roman, he's gonna wrestle Seth. And they're going to try to make that switch like, hey, this is the working man's championship. And so if he wins this title, then he really won the big title. And they're trying to, do that mind switch so that Roman can wrestle The Rock and it not deflate Cody finishing the story.
And do you think they'll be, because I know The Rock had made a comment before that he likes the long story. And for them to hotshot this to where he goes from the board of director to now the main event WrestleMania against his cousin doesn't give them time unless they do it twice in a lifetime like they did with John Cena, I guess. I guess they could do it that way where The Rock loses this time but then goes on until next year and then wins and finally ends his, historic title reign where they counted him holding 2 titles as double days, which is stupid. But that's wrestling math where they get to count those victories like with Goldberg's, 1,562 consecutive victories before he finally lost.
Yes.
But yeah, Kofi didn't have one of his classic spots, but Carrie Sane did, but her feet touched twice.
Yeah.
And why they were trying to make it, I'm glad they told her just to go ahead and slide down.
Yeah.
Because that was looking horrible in there. And the other matches were really nothing of note other than that crowd was dead and tired, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The women's match, Rumble match, was definitely way better. But,
yeah. I thought the women's match was better.
But yep. So that is all. My son won we have a little poll or a little, not a little poll, but we have a pool to where this year we actually selected the numbers that we wanted to have after we chose the order, and my son actually won because he wound up choosing Bailey. Well, he chose the number that she came out in. So
okay.
And then his friend won the second one. So we changed it before we used just use a random number generator and assign our names to it from there, but changes up like this, it gives an opportunity to, okay, which number are you going to pick? Historically what numbers have won the Battle Royal and then what numbers are just garbage. But, this year it was a little bit all over the place. And then finding that one person that winds up throwing out 5 to 6 people at a time.
Yeah. And I knew Nia was going to, what did she do? She ended up eliminating like 9 people, didn't she?
Somewhere around there, yep.
Yeah, including R-Truth.
Yes, she eliminated 9 if you count R-Truth.
Yeah.
But 8 total. So.
But I'm looking forward to Jade wrestling Mommy Rhea. That'll be a good match.
Well, would Rhea be the face then? Because I guess she's sort of now a face now that oh goodness, I can't think of her name. Big girl. I hate to call her Big Girl.
Nia?
But Nia attacked her.
Yeah.
Rhea on Monday. So is she now a face being in the heel faction? And I just don't understand that.
I think so.
They muddied the water so much.
Yeah, they cannot get people to not cheer Rhea Ripley. No matter what she does, no matter how she acts, people love Rhea Ripley. So they're not going to get people to boo her. So you just kind of got to lean into it at some point.
Right. That is true. But all right. Well, I will let you go. The highlight of my day is that here at work, we actually had Dougie Fresh as a part of the MLK celebration, which was very interesting. So to get a mini concert with him on the company dime is always nice. So
okay.
That was a nice little highlight, nice little surprise. But he did, one of the funny things to me is that he had a guy named Little Vicious. I've never heard of this rapper, but he's a Jamaican rapper. And the song that he happened to be doing was called Freaks. And I'm like, folks, you still on the clock. And guess what? There's cameras all around. So ladies, please don't do anything that would have you up in HR and out the door.
Yes.
So, even when he started playing the butt, I was like, oh, Lord. And unfortunately, there were some people there on the ones and the threes, so we had to make do. But I kept it in the pocket, a little two-step back and forth. I'm good to go. All that other dancing, I leave that to the professionals.
All right.
Yeah. All right, hey, you have a good one, and man, you got to do round 2. So yeah, you'll get a chance to taste the nastiness again. Well, for the first time next week, probably, since they want you to have it so quickly.
Yeah. All right, Brent.
All right, and tell LaDonna it's going to be okay if she hasn't already hung up.
All right. Hey, have a good one.
All right.
All right. Let me. Terrence was on here. Y'all know I like it when the celebrities come on. Terrence was on here. Oh, come on, stop it. And he had a few questions. Is Macho Man Randy Savage still wrestling? He's dead. Let me see. Who are the big names in wrestling now? Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. I'm drawing a blank. Those are your biggest ones right now. Those are your biggest ones right now. And on the women's side, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Jade Cargill. Those are kind of your biggest ones. And the girl with the long braid. I can't think of her name. I don't dislike her, but I don't understand her. What is her name? What's the girl with the braid name? I can't think of her name. I can't think of her name. The EST. It don't matter. I can't think of her name. No, Nat. No Undertaker. He retired. Iron Sheik. Valerie. Ma'am. He's dead. Bianca Belair. Thank you, Brent. Bianca Belair is her name. But that's about it. All right, y'all. I want to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.